Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and the others, a great millstone. And salutations to all Akim out there pushing this truth and all truth and sincerity diligently throughout the four corners. I'm the brother Shamar Ahmad, alright, from GMS Miami. Okay, coming to Akim with another Hebrew on the Sabbath. And with that being said, Shabbat Shalom, alright. Today's lesson, alright, it's going to be on basically a prayer for more self-discipline. Okay, and this time it's going to be a little different. Alright, I'm recording this on voice audio. I took some notes down and whatnot in my notebook, and towards the end, when I get to the prayer, you'll see a picture in post-production, okay, which now I put screenshots along the way as well of everything that I've done found, so you could jot the same notes that I have down as well. Okay, so what I got, all right, first things first, we have to understand what self-discipline is. Okay, what is self-discipline? Okay, the word self-discipline itself is two words put together: self plus discipline. All right, self is oneself, meaning you, or if I'm talking of myself, I myself, oneself. All right, discipline being chastisement, okay, punishment for the sake of correction, physical punishment, teaching, suffering, martyrdom, okay, which discipline is very beautiful because you see it says punishment for the sake of correction, okay. And sometimes when it comes to self-discipline, all right, we punish ourselves, okay, for the sake of correction, man. All right, that's where you get the mortify thy flesh, man. Okay, that's where you see Paul say that he put under himself his body into subjection, roughly paraphrase, so at least he preached to others and himself be a castaway. All right, and how would you say you discipline yourself for correction physically? All right, let's say for instance, that you drinking excessive wine, all right, causes you to black out, and when you black out, you don't remember what you did. Now that could be an issue because you might end up doing something that's off or wrong. So to correct that, you will put yourself through scrutinized training, so to say, which is that self-discipline. You would discipline yourself by cutting alcohol off, okay, or cutting back on the alcohol. And that way you'll be teaching yourself that you don't need to rely on too much alcohol because of the fact that you black out, okay? And you would be suffering as well because your body, your flesh, okay, would be already used to getting over drunk, so to say, and your body, your flesh wants to black out, but you understand through your spirit that that's not good because you don't want to end up doing something. You don't want your flesh end up causing you to do something that you might regret later, man. Okay, so you choke the flesh out, man. Okay, which would be that physical punishment, which would cause suffering to teach you, all right, how to correct your ways, man, through punishment, man. All right. The Google definition is the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. All right. Right. Another example would be feelings. It says feelings, man. Okay. You understand, or that there's a particular thing or a particular trigger word that when people say it gets you irate. Okay. So what you would have to do, you would have to put yourself through you would have to self-discipline yourself. You have to kill that emotion of anger and rage when certain words get tossed at you, man. And how would you do that, man? Okay, when certain words, let's say for instance, fat. Let's just use that for instance. For example, the word fat gets you irate. When people say fat, instead of allowing the anger emotion to overwhelm you, you would control it and combat it with the laughter emotion, man. So when somebody says fat, instead of getting angry, all right, you laugh, and that way you done overcame your weakness, man, because with that anger you done did things that you weren't supposed to do, like you probably swung on somebody, all right, because somebody said fat, caused you to curse somebody out, probably caused you to lose a job, whatever the case may be. These are just examples. I'm not pinpointing anybody. These are just examples that came to mind. Okay, so again, it says the Google definition is the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. Okay, the ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptations to abandon it, right? And that's where self-control or temperance comes in for us, man, because we know that keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, all right, and following Yahawah, bahasham, is the ultimate right way to go about it. And there are several temptations, all right, set around us that would try to cause us to abandon what we know and believe is right, man. So what? We have to have temperance, self-control, self-discipline, all right? And those things are various, man, okay? All right, the scriptures say the love of money is the root of all evil. We know that you can't be too headlong over getting riches, man. And you'll have self-discipline. You will have to self-discipline and self-control yourself when doing that, all right? By what? Certain people might want to gain riches to please the masses, all right? To continue to live a high fashion lifestyle. So what you would have to do, you will have to discipline yourself, man. Whether it's cut off yourself from social media where people would look at you, or where you once had a name of fashion, you would have to cut that off. Yes, the flesh would feel very discomforted, all right, by the situation, but ultimately it is for the well-being of your spirit, man. All right, so that you may get saved, man. Again, another example is females, man. Okay, dealing with women. All right, you know the fact that the scriptures say not to lay with another man's wife, and here it is. You haven't been with another man. You haven't been with a woman. All right, that was a slip of the tongue. You haven't been with a woman in a while. Okay, and now the temptations are being presented to you with nothing but various women who have men, all right, who wants a taste of you, man. All right, and it's up to you to have that self-discipline, that self-control, all right, to curb that desire, okay, to curb that desire, all right, to want to lay with that woman just because of the fact that you haven't laid with a woman in a while, man. We're men, our bodies have heat. We're hot for women, and whatever the case may be, but you cannot be too hot, and that's where self-discipline and self-control comes into play, man, okay? And you have to stick to and pursue what you know is right despite the temptations, which is what? I'm going to stick to these laws, statutes, and commandments, these words, okay, instead of abandoning it just to get a piece of ass, man. And on the contrary, you can just pay for some pussy, man, and just get it over with, man. Okay, some of the synonyms are self-control, self-mastery, control, restraint, self-restraint. Okay, now the Hebrew word for self-discipline or restraint or control, all right, or self-control is Strong's H4652, ma'itazar, all right, which it means restraint, control, all right, and that in the translation count for it as rule. Okay, all right, what's that? I believe it's Proverbs 25 and 28. Okay, if you don't have, you gotta have that rule over your spirit, man. Okay, in the Greek, all right, it's Strong's 1466, egg cartia, all right, with the translation count being 4 for the word temperance, man, and it means self-control. Okay, the virtue of one who masters his desires and passions. Okay, example, his sensual appetites, man. So you got to be able to curb your sensual appetites, all right, and master your desires and your passions, man. Okay, whatever it may be, man. And I myself, okay, am one to tell you that I'm still working on that, man. Okay, just keep quite frank and keep it quite honest. I'm still working on that, man. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much levels you go, no matter what levels you come across in this truth, all right, as we excel in this ministry, okay, every level you go through the same various tests again, but on a different scale, man. Okay, before we understood the meat, the milk, and ended up tasting the meat, we had to learn how to control ourselves and our spirits, all right, with dealing with the milk. And as soon as the Lord allowed it and showed us how to control ourselves and our spirits, he added more to our plate and allowed us to go through the same thing over, man. Okay, what's that? Romans the 5th chapter, all right, where it tells you, temptation. Is it temptation? Shoot, I forget how it goes, but it basically tells you, dang, Salakia, let me just see if I could just grab it real quick and read it. I don't want to butcher it. All right, bear with me. All right, Book of Romans chapter 5. All right, verse 3, I'll just get to the point. It says, and not only so, but we glory in tribulation, also knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. And hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of the Most High is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Spirit, which is given unto us. Right? And you see the word patience, okay, which the word patience goes into what? Suffering, man. Okay? Because you have to have patience, hey, again, dealing with the women's situation, you have to have patience and curb your desire to lay with a woman and wait on the Lord to provide you a woman, man. All right? Okay? All right? And that way you get more experience. You'll know how to talk to a brother about a situation, because you done controlled yourself in a certain matter, and now you see a brother, all right, going through that walk, and he's having to learn how to have that self-control himself, so you'll be able to drop some wisdom and some jewels upon him on how to control himself, man. All right, and all of that builds to our hope that Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi is going to come save us, man. Okay? So that's understanding what the word, self-discipline is, man. Now, who in the Bible shows self-discipline, man? Showed that self-control. All right? We have our perfect example, which is Yahawashi, the Lord and Savior, man. All right? Having that self-control and that self-discipline when it came to Satan tempting him in the when he was on his 40-day fast, man. All right? He had self-control. Yahawashi, all right, stuck to the Heavenly Father, man. Okay, and that's how he was able to curb, whatever feelings or desires that he may have had, or that Satan probably tried to put upon him at that time, man. Because when you read the scriptures say that the Lord was hungered, man. Okay, and the first thing Satan tried to attack him with is food, and he curbed that, man. Okay, and guess what? Yahawashi knew, all right, through the Spirit, he knew that he was going to gain the world, all right, by losing everything that he had and going through what he was going through. He knew he was going to sit on the right hand of the Most High and have dominion over the world. But Satan tried to get him to act how would I say Satan tried to make him jump the gun, so to say, man, by telling him he could have the whole world. And guess what? He curbed his desire, all right, to tell Satan to get the F out of there, man, with that BS, man, That's a perfect example, man. All right, King David, okay? One would say, how did King David have self-discipline, man, or self-control with the situation with Saul, man? Saul was out here trying to put him to death, okay? And guess what King David did, man? He controlled himself, man, because we all know if a man is seeking your life, all right, one thing that might run through your mind is getting at that man before he gets to you, man. All right, and there were several times that King David had the opportunity. All right, and the scriptures clearly show you that when King David and King Saul was in the cave, and how King David, instead of putting him to death, okay, instead of putting King Saul to death, just snip a piece of his garment, man. All right, to show you that King David had self-control, man. All right, in certain instances, man. All right, Daniel also was another example, man. Okay, being that they were taken away captive, all right, into into Babylon, all right, and they were offered the king's meat, man. All right, and instead of eating the king's meat, all right, they told the king's guard or whatnot to feed them pulse, man. And that shows what? That shows self-control and self-discipline, and not okay putting off what they believe was right, all right, to fold to the temptation, man. Okay, Joseph was another perfect example as well, man. All right, being that when he was the Pharaoh's wife, all right, Pharaoh's wife tried to get him to lay with him. He had that self-control. He ran off, man. He stuck to what he believed was right, all right, despite the temptation that was trying to make him abandon it, man. Okay, and that's what we have to have, man. All right, and I pray to the Lord that He continues to, strengthen my spirit and add more self-discipline and self-control into my life, man. Okay, because we need it in all levels, man, in all forms of our walk, whether it's dealing and managing our finances, man, dealing and managing our households, dealing and managing the body, man, which comes first, man. We all need that self-discipline, okay, and that self-control, man. Okay. Now the prayer is this. I'm going to read it in English and I'm going to read it in Hebrew, man. Okay, it says, so what we're going to be saying, Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, please keep me from youthful lust. Give me more of your spirit to be in to have, or to be in self-discipline, to reject the flesh, bahasham, which is please. Thank you, so let it be. All right. And in Hebrew, it would be Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Shemaria, Mayan, Yaladwath, Sa'awah, Nathanlaya, Iwad, Marachaka, La Haya, Ba Ma'ai Tazar, La Ma'asa, Habashar, Babakashah, Thawada Aman. Okay? And that's the prayer, man. And Lord's will, this video is edifying, and and you brothers and you sisters out there will be able to apply this into your lives and pray with truth and sincerity that the Lord helps you be more self-disciplined and have more temperance, because that's something that the elect puts on. The elect puts on temperance, man, self-control. We have to learn how to control our emotions when dealing with situations. All right, learn how to control our flesh with dealing with situations, and even learning how to control our spirits when dealing with situations. Because sometimes you will want to say something, all right, but you will have to control your spirit, knowing that it's not the place for you to speak at that moment, man. Okay, I'll read the prayer one more time. All right, so how you would say Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, Babakashah, Shemaria, Mayan, Yaladwath, Sa'awah, Nathanlaya, Iwad, Marachaka, Lahaya, Bama Itazar, Lama'asa, Habashar, Babakashah, Thawada Aman. So let it be. All right, and with that, shalom.